My name is Minahil Final, and I've been living in Ireland for almost 13 years now, I think. And basically, I'm just a normal, average girl that's cringy enough as it sounds. I'm just here trying to make a new life for myself and my family and work hard to achieve what I want in life. I came here from Pakistan at the age of 5, and I've been an Irish girl ever since. Let's redo that. It's not true. I was living in direct provision for about 10 years or 11 years, and I don't even like to complain about it nowadays, because now that I look back on it, I realize that's what made me who I am today, and that's what made me a stronger person. But I guess everything, being 5 years old and kind of being like the eldest in my family, in the children, I always felt I had to protect my siblings. So anytime anyone would say anything to anyone that was younger than me, I felt like I had to talk back to them, and I had to make sure that they would never say it again. And I remember people used to say loads of things. Like, I remember being in school, I had hid the fact that I lived in direct provision for like 4 years, and in fifth class they found out, and then they were like making like terrible jokes about it and just trying to put me down. And I didn't really care about myself because I was used to it from other people. But when they started picking on the little kids, that's when I got angry. Everything was really crap. It's like I could hear what my brother was saying, even if he was whispering it in his room, and was trying to study. I mean, I was in 5th class, or even when I was in 1st class, I just had to do something. Like, I had to do some maths to make myself feel sane. And I'd always hear my brothers and sisters fighting or something in the other room, and it would kind of disturb my mental conscience, if that makes sense. It's like I wasn't just thinking in my voice wasn't just in my head, it was everybody's voice in my head. And sometimes that was a lot for me to take or to handle. It was near the very end that things changed. It was when I first started to speak up publicly about it. And I remember working with Irish Refugee Council, and I was 11 at the time. It's when I began to feel my inner activist coming out and just saying, look, this is what's happening and we should stop it. And before then, I didn't know about my rights. I didn't know that I actually had a right to have a nationality, and I had a right. I remember when my sister was born here, she doesn't have a passport. She doesn't have a nationality. She doesn't even have an identity. And to just look at her and say, wow, that's not right. It's not right for my sister to go through that. It's not right for anyone to go through that. And when I began to realize that it was unfair, it wasn't just something I had to deal with, that's when things started to change. That's when people heard my voice. I remember before, when I started to speak first out loud, people used to tell me, you're not allowed to do that. You can't do that because they're just going to deport you and you're going to be sent back home. And I remember some nights crying in my room and saying, am I even doing the right thing? Am I going to put my family in worse trouble, and am I going to make it harder for them, because I would never forgive myself? Just people constantly saying, you're going to ruin this for us if you keep talking. Like, they didn't understand that I was trying to help everybody. I was just trying to make it okay for everyone, but I guess everyone had their own fears and doubts at that time. But nowadays, no one says that to me anymore. It's just keep talking, and that's what I always will do, keep talking. No matter how hard it feels, no matter how painful it can be, no matter how long it might feel, just always know that your voice can make such a huge difference. I wouldn't have known this if I hadn't lived it. A story can really make people feel almost how you feel, and that's the most powerful thing ever. Like, you just tell your story and show your pain and try to make a difference, because otherwise you're gonna look around you and all your dreams will be gone, and you best be mad at your goddamn self.